Hey, welcome to a new Project Kamp video. So in this video I'm going to give you guys an update on the plastic roof we installed a few videos ago. Didn't really work out as we thought it would, and also going to give you an update on a team member that is working here. You guys are asking to show a little bit more the people behind the project. And finally we also started renovating this ruin here and taking off the roof. So I'm going to show you how that's done. Have fun! So here we have a little ruin, which is going to be a future guest house, but also our warm place for the winter. But in order to make it warm, we still have some things to do. So we're going to start the renovation work. But before we're going to start, I want to show you guys the current state which it's in now, because this is really the last time we're going to see it like this. So the main thing about this ruin is that it's granite and bricks. This was the old part, and throughout time they rebuilt it, add things to it, which makes it a bit messy. But here it's now the granite area. It's a very cool area, super thick granite. Also not very well built for a granite building. There are better examples out there, but it functions. Later on they rebuilt here this area, or added the wall. So it's a mix of bricks and granite. So another room here. The floor is added later, and the floor itself, or the roof, is still pretty stable and doable to reuse. It's also leaning on the granite, which makes it sturdy, except here is leaning on the bricks, which is not structurally proper. So we need to reinforce it here to make sure the floor is actually leaning on strong areas. Yeah, and so the bottom is still pretty good. If we manage to renovate it a bit, reinforce that part, we can reuse the whole bottom and the floor that is on top, which is good. The top part is a bit more dubious. We're not really sure yet what to do. And the main reason is because on the one hand the building is built in quite a rough way, but also it burned down here a few years ago, so some bricks with the heat lost a bit of their strength. So the mix of those two things makes this building not super robust. So as you can see, for instance here, like this hinge, it's really just very roughly put in here. Here there's a piece of wood which is just molded with cement in there. Here you can see a shelf which is just with cement put between the wall. So yeah, not very conscious, proper way of building. And the roof itself and the walls are somewhat collapsing and falling apart. So what we're going to do now is we're going to take off the roof tiles, take off the wooden beams on top, remove all the parts that are somewhat falling, take out this wall, and then we're going to analyze again to see what to do next. Because we still have this main question whether we can reuse the existing walls, because it would save a lot of bricks that otherwise we have to replace with a new material. Or we really have to take off the whole top part and build something new. So yeah, we're going to start taking it down and see what it's going to look like, what we're going to find out. So maybe you've noticed the guy hanging in the mimosa tree in the last shot. It's our good friend Tim from South Africa who came to help us out. You know what, let me just get him here so he can say hello.
Hi there, I'm Tim, a 27-year-old climber, highliner, product designer from Johannesburg, South Africa. And I'm here for just over a month to help out. I work together with Dave in Eindhoven on Precious Plastic version 4. Precious Plastic is an open source project based on boosting plastic recycling all around the world. Maybe you've also seen in the previous episodes that we build the roofs here with recycled plastic sheets. Those were made with some of the open source techniques. You will see later in the video an update on this one too. If you'd like to know more about Precious Plastic, just go to preciousplastic.com or just search it in YouTube. So, since I climbed and highlined for many years, I'm quite comfortable with heights, as you will see soon. I'm also super familiar with ropes, rigging and gear. So one of the first things I did here was to install the big yellow tarp over the workshop so that we can work here in summer without getting fully baked by the sun. This is the tarp. It's not ideal, there's still a bit of droop in the middle, but I think that's just because of the weight of the plastic itself. Still a bit rough, but I think we did the best we could with what there is, and we'll work on it as time goes by. enjoy the rest of the video.
So since we had to start somewhere with the renovation of the room, we set our first goal on dismantling the rotten roof to make sure it doesn't fall on our head later. And most of the roof tiles are actually still okay and should be good to use somewhere in the future, so we tried to save them. Not sure how to reach all of them or how to even get down these huge wooden beams, but yeah, let's see.
I've seen the lightning flashing, I've heard the thunder roar. I've endured, how long can one endure?
Cement coming!
How is it up there?
Feels pretty good. Old and moldy. I can't see what's underneath, so it makes me feel a bit better.
Is it windy?
A little windy. Hey! Turn the lights on!
Found a snake skin on the roof.
Ooh,
Inside the top beam.
weird. Climbing snake.
So we've just finished taking the tiles off the roof, and next we're gonna think about how we attack the wood.
How was it up there? Like windy?
A little windy, very low, kind of squatting the whole time, but it was fun.
Quite used to it because you climb anyway a lot, right?
Yeah, I climb. I like to be on somewhere high.
Yeah, cool. Good shoes for that as well. These climber shoes?
They're approach shoes. So they like have some sticky rubber.
Oh, cool.
And if you flip that around.
The thing?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's hard to get it in there. Maybe.
Well. Yeah.
So what's the plan, guys, for the afternoon?
Gonna try get the wood off, and maybe we crow the whole sheet off as one unit and then slide it off the building.
Like down there to the left?
Yeah. If it comes off as one. Otherwise we do it slowly. Or we just cut it. But I think, see,
Yeah, those are already half.
this is, yeah, it's half at the beam, which is manageable, I think. We have a big stick. Push it off. Alright, so the plan is to push over this wall, and if we're lucky the cement will detach and we'll have 50 perfect bricks. If we're unlucky, the whole wall will fall down and the whole ruin will collapse. Not ideal. Almost. You can feel everything shaking.
50 good bricks.
Nice!
Alright, so the roof is now off. It's just a brick structure here. Downside a bit with these bricks is that they're not very strong. The cement is actually harder, so it's very hard to detach them from each other. So we're now thinking in what to do with all the bricks. Do we keep the walls or not? It's kind of difficult because, for instance, this wall, before it had support from all the beams from the roof, but now that support is gone, and also it has a lot of holes on the bottom, and that whole corner there is just not attached. So I could just push over this whole wall. So not sure if it makes sense to fully remove it. It would be the easiest option, but we also kind of don't like throwing all these bricks out, which would probably be the outcome of that. So yeah, let us know if you have any suggestions or ideas on what to do with this. Could use some inspiration. And in general, make sure to check out the research module if you want to follow this process. We will keep you posted there.
As you might remember, during last season we built a recycled plastic shade roof. This was built with recycled plastic sheets made out of polypropylene for giving us a bit of shade and protect us from the rain during winter, but was not going perfect until now. Many of you already mentioned that this roof would leak in the future, the overlap is not enough, the plastic sheets were not sealant, so yeah, I can tell you, it leaks. Boring. So what we tried so far is to seal in the overlapping of the sheets. Still not really working because the sheet warps too much, the sealant is not enough. We still don't figure out what it's gonna be. But we will keep on upgrading the roof until it stops to leak, because this is quite boring. So we can keep you updated in the research model in Kamp.com. So to try to solve the leaking problem, we have added some butyl in the overlapping. Butyl is a kind of silicone that doesn't dry ever and doesn't stick to the plastic, so we can always remove it afterwards in case we need to reuse the sheets. It still was not solving the leaking problem, so we added an extra layer of polymer on top of the edges to try if we can get rid of the leaks. Still not possible. So one of the big problems of working with recycled plastic sheets in the sun and in outside conditions is that, as you can see, the plastic warps a lot. So there's a lot of tension in the sheets, which make us not really able to add the screws. The screws break always. Plastic is every day moving. When it's sunrise, plastic start to move. When it start to be colder, plastic keeps on moving. So it's like an alive roof now. As I said, it's still an ongoing project. So let's see how it behaves. We will keep you updated in the research model. But so far we are not really convinced yet, since it's leaking. All this warping in the plastic is not super fun. So probably the problem can come from the design itself. We will still keep on going, keep on upgrading to make it waterproof, so let's see how it goes.
Alright, so that was it for this video. We now have the room ready for renovation. A lot of work to be done, but exciting. If you want to help out, you can go to the website and sign up, or just keep watching these videos and then you'll see how it's going to evolve. That was it for this week, but next week we actually got a nice gift from our neighbors, which involves a lot of water falling from a high distance. We can see more about that next week. If you already want to see that video, make sure to support on Patreon. If not, you'll just see it next week here on YouTube. And also, yeah, thank you for watching all these YouTube videos. The channel has been growing a lot, which is really cool, keeps us motivated. So thank you and see you next week.